Blessings, rock and metal guardians. I hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves. I'm Dane, host of the channel, and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll Cocktail, where I rank the discographies of two or more bands or artists, and sometimes I just rank my favorite parts of said discographies, but in this case, I'm ranking the entire discography, and today is a special episode of this particular series because I'm doing a family tree, and in this case, one of my favorite bands of all time in my top 10, Mott The Hoople, and of course Mott and British Lions. So that family tree will be today's video. There are 11 studio albums in all, 7 from Mott The Hoople, 2 from Mott, and 2 from British Lions. Now, before we get into ranking these 11 wonderful studio albums, wonderful for the most part, let me talk about the personnel of each band. So if we talk about Mott The Hoople first, we have Ian Hunter on vocals, piano, and of course rhythm guitar, Mick Rouse on lead guitar, backing vocals and lead vocals sometimes, Pete Overend Watts on bass and backing vocals, Dale Griffin on drums and backing vocals, and Verdon Allen on organ and backing vocals. Now, when it comes to the Mott album, Verdon Allen is not on that album, it's just a 4-piece. And then if we talk about the follow-up to that album, the album's called The Hoople, we have Ariel Bender now on lead guitar, vocals, and slide guitar, and Morgan Fisher joins the band on keyboards and synths. And Ralphs has a guest appearance on this album, The Hoople, on track 7 and 9. When it comes to the band Mott, Ian Hunter has left the band at this point, so we get Nigel Benjamin over from London on vocals, lead vocals, and occasionally acoustic guitar, Ray Major on lead guitar, Morgan Fisher, piano, synths, organ, glockenspiel, and sometimes bass, 1 or 2 songs, Pete Watts on bass, acoustic guitar, and Dale Griffin on drums. Now, when it comes to British Lions, Nigel Benjamin is not in the band. Over from the band Medicine Head, we have John Fiddler now on lead vocals and rhythm guitar. And then Ray Major on lead guitar, backing vocals and percussion. Morgan Fisher still in the band with piano, Hammond organ, Korg synthesizer. Pete Watts on bass and backing vocals. Dale Griffin on drums, percussion, and backing vocals. So many of you may ask, well, why did you not include Box of Frogs? Aren't they in the family tree? Well, the issue with that is there are no members of Box of Frogs who were in Mott The Hoople at all, or Mott for that matter. So John Fiddler on vocals coming over from British Lions, and then the rest of the band are members who were in the Yardbirds, specifically Chris Drasia, Paul Samuel Smith, and Jim McCarty. So in the flavor and vibe and tone and sound of the two Box of Frogs albums really don't fit in much, if at all, with the sound and vibe of Mott The Hoople, and British Lions. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming in dead last. Oh, I wanted to say there are really no stinker albums in all of what I'm presenting here. There are 11, as I said. None of them are stinker albums, I think, although some people have criticized the two Mott albums as stinker albums. They've given 1 or 2 stars on AllMusic or what have you if you look it up on Wikipedia. But again, it's all a matter of taste and preference. But there are some stinker songs in some of these albums, but I don't think a whole lot of them. So coming in at dead last, and this is a self-made CD because trying to buy it online from a third-party seller is a monumental task considering people want to charge $200, $300, $400, and it's so hard to find albums, so I just made my own copy. The second and final album from British Lions called Trouble with Women is a track listing, and we have, it starts with a US radio promo, that should have been last, but you have Trouble with Women, the title track, Any Port in the Storm, Lady Don't Fall Backwards, High Noon, Lay Down Your Love, Waves of Love, Electric Chair, and then you have some demos such as Won't You Give Him One More Chance to Run, But the Night is Young, the studio song, which is just goofiness, and then the Status Quo demo version of Eat the Rich, which is a song on the first album just called British Lions. Now, this is an album from 1980. Let me get my sheet here. So the first song, the title track, Trouble with Women, the intro guitar sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. It has a 60s or late 60s psychedelic vibe feel to it. I really like the song. There's some nice harmonica here. I'm not the biggest harmonica person, but I like it here. It's a pretty cool song. As I said, the next song is Any Port and Storm. The intro has a Mott The Hoople feel. The chorus is odd, but overall the song is good, and the guitar here is great. Lady Don't Fall Backwards has an 80s feel to it, but the song gets better after the first minute. Despite that, you have that 80s vibe throughout the whole song. Again, this is 1980, so early 80s. It's an okay song. It has Doors-like keys to it, which I like, and the last minute of the song is the best part of the song. The next track is High Noon, just slightly above average song. It's okay. The second half of the song is what makes this song good because of the guitar. Next is Lay Down Your Love. The first third of the song has a new wave post-punk feel to it. The second third of the song has some nice guitar and piano, has a Mott The Hoople feel. And then the third third of the song is back to that new wave post-punk feel. I do like the song. Next is Waves of Love. It's a good song. It's not great. I don't like the chorus, but you have some nice synthesizers here. 2/3 in, that sounds familiar, like it's been lifted from another song. I can't put my finger on it. And then you have this odd guitar keys solo that I think is really cool, so I do like that. The next song, Electric Chair, is slow at times, but has up-tempo, mid-up-tempo at points in the song, and there's a great guitar solo. Overall, I think it's a cool song, and the way the song ends with the drum flourish is really cool. Track 8, Won't You Give Him One More Chance, has an Archie's or sweet feel to it, maybe a little bit of both. It's slightly bubblegum. I do like it. It's a great pop song, and you have some nice guitar here. And the studio song, as I said, I'm not going to talk about the demos, but it's not meant to be taken seriously. They're just goofing off in the studio, and it's essentially a meta song. So it's a song about recording a song. So nothing really to rave about. Overall, I would give this album a 7 out of 10. So again, dead last, not a bad album, but not a great album either, is Trouble with Women. All right, that was 1980. Now, the next album is from Mott, and it's the Drive On album. Cool album cover. This is the back. And let me get my notes for this. Here we go. So the first song is called By Tonight, and if you know the song, the opening intro riff should sound familiar because the Cult lifted it for their song Love Removal Machine. Da 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 da. I'm not doing it right, but I like the song By Tonight. Really cool song. The next song is Monte Carlo. It's good, but when Nigel Benjamin sings the word we, it's a little bit high, and it's kind of off-putting, but I do like the song. But because of the way he sings we, which I won't attempt to imitate, it's a little cringy, but I do like the song. The next song, She Does It, is really good. I love the song. It's a cool guitar song, or I should say it's got some cool guitar in it. The next song, I'll Tell You Something, is a great slow song, cool piano, and some great guitar near the end of the song. The next song I really love as well is called Stiff Upper Lift. It's catchy. It's kind of an earworm of a song for me. And then the next song is Love Now. The vocals at times seem to, at least to me, my ears, at times, rare, not the whole song, but in small spurts, Nigel Benjamin sounds a little bit like Joe Walsh. In small spurts, I said, during the chorus only. Part of the lyrics are, I don't want to settle down, I just want to fool around. When he sings those two lines is when he sounds like Walsh. So you have a slight punk, new wave feel to it, slight meets Joe Walsh, meets Jerry Lee Lewis with the piano, meets party rock, kind of a Slade feel. So it's an interesting pastiche or a hodgepodge of different types of music or bands. Okay, next is a 51-second song called Apologies, essentially just an intro to The Great White Whale, which is the next song. Apologies is just okay. It's just Nigel Benjamin singing. It's really an interlude with some acoustic guitar. It's okay. I wish it was a little longer. The Great White Whale, I really like. It has a late 60s psychedelic feel or vibe. Really cool. Some nice guitar. Bluesy, last minute or so. And then you have some great vocal wailings from Nigel Benjamin, hence the name of the song, perhaps. The next song is How We Are. It's a slow song. It's emotive. It's about what could I have done to keep you as my woman type song. I like it. And then we have the hit off the album, It Takes One to Know One. This is the gem of the album. Too bad, not a song that Ian Hunter recorded with the band. It has a Mott The Hoople, Ian Hunter feel, almost as if this was meant to be an Ian Hunter song. Who knows? But I'm getting an Ian Hunter vibe from it, and even David Bowie vibe from it. Bowie could have done the song and done it well. Anyway, finally, the last song is I Can Show You How It Is. This should have been switched. The album would have been better had it ended with It Takes One to Know One, but it ends with I Can Show You How It Is. It's an okay song. It's not a bad song. It's got a weird ending with odd noises and silliness, but I do like the song, but it's not a great song. Overall, the album's a bit uneven, but I do like it. So it comes in at number 10, 1975's Drive On, Mott's first album. All right. Only one of two as a band. All right, coming in at number 9 is from 1978, British Lions, the self-titled. I just got this. I used to have just this on MP3 with one disc version. This just came out just recently. This is a 2-disc version. Disc 1 is the original album with 4 demo tracks that are newly added, and then disc 2 is Live at the Old Waldorf, San Francisco. Live at the Old Waldorf, San Francisco, 1978. I'm not going to talk about the live album, but I do like it. So let's talk about the song lists here. The song tracks, I should say. Okay, so the first song is One More Chance to Run, which is a wonderful song. It's anthemic. It's a cool song to sing to. There's some great piano here, as expected from a band that is similar to Mott and Mott The Hoople. Next is Wild in the Streets. Love the song as well. It's got a quasi-punk vibe to it, at least the opening seconds does. And then the chorus is just repeating the title of the song, which is cool. It's anthemic, sort of, or quasi-anthemic. It's a nice rocker. I do love the song. Excuse me. The next song is Break This Fool. This is a slow to mid-tempo song. Then it picks up with some great vocals. Halfway in is where it picks up. The lyrics, part of it, are cool. I don't want your love. So it's an anti-love song. Nice piano solo and a cool guitar near the end, although brief. I wish it was a little longer. Great song, though. So the first 3 songs are wonderful. Then the 4th song is called International Heroes. The opening has a Mott The Hoople feel, which is great, but just the opening. The lyrics remind me of UFO. A lot of this album lyrically reminds me of something the band UFO would have written, and even the phrasing at times throughout this album reminds me of Phil Mogg. Not exactly, but there's a hint of that. So while it doesn't have the lead singer doesn't sound exactly like Phil Mogg, he does at times, especially because of the phrasing, lends that feel to it. The piano 2/3 in is just wonderful. The synths are great. It's a very cool song. This album came out in 78, but this song kind of seems to foreshadow what's going on in the 80s with respect to music in general, if that makes sense. The next song is a weird title called Fork Talkin' Man. More Phil Mogg type phrasing, though not necessarily vocals. Cool guitar, bass. It's a nice rocker, mid-tempo, and a wonderful guitar solo. And then the next song is My Life in Your Hands. This is a fabulous song. Great slow build-up type intro, piano and other instrumentation. Again, Phil Mogg phrasing. I love the song. Great lyrics. It's powerfully emotive. Great chorus, great vocals, great phrasing, great tone. Cool riff, cool guitar, last minute or so. The next song is Big Drift Away. This is a long song, 8.5 minutes. A UFO feel again. It's slow the first 3 minutes, then it picks up briefly, then it gets slow again. Halfway in, it picks up with some wonderful instrumentation. There's some nice bluesy heavy guitar solo at the 6 minute mark. then it gets slow again, then heavy again to the end. This is a phenomenal song. So as I've said, as you can glean, this is a phenomenal album. Next is the song Booster, Mott The Hoople, Feel All The Way. It's a boogie, Jerry Lee Lewis slightly, great piano and chorus. It's a fun song, fun lyrics, fun guitar, nice guitar solo. It's a phenomenal song. Then Eat the Rich. It opens with this kind of chimes or glockenspiel with sound effects of someone eating, which is kind of off-putting and cringy, but that goes away, thank goodness. You have a cool guitar riff comes in, cool piano, cool lyrics. It's a good song, not great. This is my least favorite song on the album, but I do like it. It is a fun song, though it's slightly quirky. All right, so that is, again, the British Lions album. You want to check this out if you're not familiar with it. I want to say that this is an album that critic Martin Popoff raves about. Don't quote me on that, but I think he has in the past. 1978. All right, so that comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is the second and last album from the band Mott, and that is Shouting and Pointing. If you go on Wikipedia, this gets like 1.5 stars. This is 1976. The album cover is funny because Morgan Fisher's, showing his teeth and pointing at you. It's a cool, I like this album cover. And then this is the back, more zaniness from Morgan Fisher there in the middle with his mouth wide open and pointing at you. Let's talk about the tracks. Title track is great. It's fun. It rocks. It's a nice rocker, some nice guitar here. I think it kicks ass at times. Then the next song is Collision Course. This is also a fun rocker, more kick-ass rocking guitar here, and great piano. The next song is Storm, great chorus, great mid-tempo rocker, great background vocals as well. Halfway through, you get this cool piano, Jim Steinman-like playing. I love it. Then a cool guitar comes in to accompany that. This is a fantastic song. Now, the next song is a gem. This is why you get this album, although there's much to like here. And this song is called Career, and then in parentheses, No Such Thing as Rock and Roll. This song seems to be, because of the way it's played, the tone, the vibe, the mood, and the lyrics, this song seems to be meant for Ian Hunter. Don't quote me on that, but it's just the vibe that I get from it. Again, this is the gem of the album, and it's wonderful. This is one of my favorite songs of all time from the Mott The Hoople Mott catalog, British Lions catalog, this family tree, if you will. It's so powerfully moving, tone, lyrics, etc. Great piano. The voice from Nigel Benjamin here is amazing. It's like he's trying to do his best job to sound like Ian Hunter. Whether that's on purpose or not, I don't know. He doesn't sound exactly like him, but he's got the mood and the vibe down pat, though he doesn't sound exactly. And it's a great chorus. I just love the song. Next is Hold On, You're Crazy. It's a fun song, fun lyrics. I love the at one point the lyrics are Find Another Sucker. I love it. Nice mid-tempo rocker, great guitar solo, some cool licks here. Then we have the song See You Again. It's a country blues type song. It's slow to mid-tempo rocker. I like it. Next you have Too Short Arms, in parentheses, I Don't Care. Piano intro's cool. Kind of a ragtime vaudeville. I don't normally go for that, but I do like this. It's fun lyrics, great chorus, very cool song. Next is a song that's just okay. It's called Broadside Outcasts, my least favorite song on the album, though I do like it. It starts with a piano and guitar intro, which do work together nicely. The opening vocals I don't like. It's a little quirky. There's this to and fro between the quirky and cool vocals. It's a good song, not great. The last third of the song is what saves the song. Finally, you have the Easy Beats cover song, Good Times. Not a bad song, not great either. Some of the lyrics are, gonna have a good time tonight, rock and roll music, gonna play all night. It's the cliched song because you have the stock characters, I guess from the 50s. Short Fat Fanny's gonna be there too. Boney Maroney, Long Tall Sally, etc. So it's on a compilation of Mott The Hoople 2 CD that I have. It's an okay song. All right. So that is Shouting and Pointing, 1976. So let's review very quickly. 11 was Trouble with Women, the British Lions, their last album from 1980, then Drive On, the first album from Mott, then British Lions, the debut from British Lions, 1978, and then Shouting and Pointing, the second and final album from Mott, 1976, coming in at number 7. So everything else I'm going to share with you is all the Mott The Hoople albums. So yes, all the Mott The Hoople albums are ranked higher than the Mott and the British Lions album. So, but dead last as far as Mott The Hoople goes is the album Wildlife. I love this album. There are no stinkers in these 11 studio albums. But this is my least favorite, as I said, of the Mott The Hoople albums. But I still love it. But it has to be placed somewhere, so it gets less. This is more of a country type album, country folk country. It's quote unquote their Neil Young album, and it works. The opening track is wonderful. It's where it belongs in the track listing, Whiskey Women, or Whiskey Women, excuse me. I love it. It's one of their best songs. Then you get Angel of 8th Avenue. Whiskey Women is sung by Ralphs. Hunter sings this one. Wrong Side of the River is a Ralphs composition. He sings that one. Water Flow is an amazing song with Hunter on lead vocals. Lay Down is great. It Must Be Love, a Ralphs song. Original Mixed Up Kid, back to Ian Hunter. Home is Where I Want to Be, a Ralphs composition. And then Keep a Knockin', which I think is a cover song. Oh, yes, it's a Little Richard song. And it's a live version, live at Fairfield Halls, Croydon, London. And then you have a couple bonus tracks. It'll Be Me, and then Long Red, which are good songs, not great. But this is a fabulous album, despite that it's not the quintessential Mott The Hoople sound you get on their other 6 studio albums. I do love this album, as I said. The standout tracks are Whiskey Women, Angel of 8th Avenue, Lay Down, and the Little Richard live cover, Keep a Knockin'. But like I said, I like the whole thing. I love the whole thing, rather. So this is worth having. Wildlife, 1971. This is their 3rd album in the discography. Okay. Coming in at number 6 is the debut from 1969, simply called Mott The Hoople. You have You Really Got Me, which is an instrumental version of that. Then you have At the Crossroads, Laugh at Me, Backsliding Fearlessly, Rock and Roll Queen, the hit from the album, which is fabulous, Rabbit Foot and Toby Time. Then you have Half Moon Bay and then Wrath and Roll. The bonus tracks are the wonderful live version of the Neil Young song Ohio, and then Find Your Way, which is an instrumental, a Ralph's penned song. This has a very Bob Dylan feel to it, but I do like it. I've since a long time ago, I guess a year or so ago, including Ian Hunter's solo stuff, I kind of shied away from the Bob Dylan-esque stuff, but now I'm loving Ian Hunter's kind of Bob Dylan-esque stylings. Make of that what you will. Ironic, since I'm not a big Dylan fan. I like some of his stuff, but not much. But this is derivative in a way. They haven't found their sound yet. That comes with their next album, their sophomore effort, which I will talk about, of course. But I do quite like this album. Actually, I love it. I love everything here. With respect, yeah, I love this album, but it's not as good as what's to come in my ranking, but I do like it a tad bit more than Wildlife. Sometimes I want to put Wildlife above this, but I think this is where it goes. The standout tracks here, I think, are At the Crossroads, Laugh at Me, Backsliding Fearlessly, of course, Rock and Roll Queen's my favorite, and Wrath and Roll. But I like everything here, including the bonus track. So great Escher album cover. And then there's the back, the alligator swallowing its tail like the serpent, right? Really like this album, or really love this album, excuse me. So Mott The Hoople, the debut from 1969. Used to have all this on vinyl. All right. That was number 6. Number 5, underrated gem, is Mad Shadows. The standout, well, let's read the whole, I'll read all the tracks. Thunderbuck Ram, No Wheels to Ride, You Are One of Us, Walking with a Mountain, I Can Feel, Threads of Iron, When My Mind's Gone. You have 2 bonus tracks in It Would Be a Pleasure, and then How Long, and then this is the early version of Death May Be Your Santa Claus. More on that later. Now, if we talk about the standout tracks, or Thunderbuck Ram, which is a hard rockin' song, sort of, it's hard to describe. It's got elements of hard rock, but it's also emotive and powerful. No Wheels to Ride is the slow, what you expect from Ian type song, the singer-songwriter type song. It's so emotionally powerful and driven and inspiring. It's great. You're One of Us is also one of the standout tracks. Walking with a Mountain, of course, was one of their live staples, which is just fabulous, kind of a homage to Jerry Lee Lewis in many ways. And then When My Mind's Gone, which, like No Wheels to Ride, kind of does foreshadow much of Ian Hunter's solo career. It's very powerful, slow, emotive. I think this is an underrated masterpiece, if you ask me. It doesn't get very good reviews. At least in the past it didn't. All right, so that was number 5. Number 4 is Brain Capers. This is a wonderful album. Death May Be Your Santa Claus makes its way into this album, the revised version, I guess. Your Own Backyard, Darkness, Darkness is the third song. The Journey, then the hit off the album, Sweet Angeline. Second Love is next, then The Moon Upstairs, then title track, The Wheel of the Quivering Meat, and you have bonus tracks, Midnight Lady and The Journey, which are both fabulous. Now, if I go back to Wildlife, I said, was their third album, Mott The Hoople, their debut. Mad Shadows was their sophomore effort, and Brain Capers is their fourth album. Mad Shadows was 1970, Brain Capers is 1971. And if we talk about the standout tracks, Death May Be Your Santa Claus, the opener, Darkness, Darkness, The Journey, Sweet Angeline, the hit, The Moon Upstairs. It's a heavy, hard rocker, I love it. And then The Wheel of the Quivering Meat. Weird title, but I do love the song quite a bit. So there's 2 versions of The Journey, and they're both really cool. So Brain Capers really had a hard time finding some vinyl back when I was in high school. I had all of this on vinyl, except for the Mott and the British Lions, but all of the Mott The Hoople, but it took me a long time to get everything on vinyl, because so much of the Mott The Hoople, growing up in the, my high school years, a lot of this was out of print on vinyl, so before the CDH. So number 4, Brain Capers. Now, number 3 is simply called The Hoople, 1974, and this is their, let's see, I didn't put what, this is their last album before the band breaks up, and then they go into Mott without Ian Hunter. So yes, no, that's not correct. Let's see, did I misspeak? I misspoke, did I? No, this is their last album. Yeah, The Hoople, 1974. You have The Golden Age of Rock and Roll, Marionette, Alice, Crash Street Kids, Born Late 58, Trudy's Song about, I'm not sure if they were married yet, Ian Hunter's wife or girlfriend, Pearl and Roy, subtitled England, Through the Looking Glass, and then the wonderful hit off the album, Roll Away the Stone. Fabulous song. The standout tracks here are, I love everything. It's a great album start to finish. Golden Age of Rock and Roll, Marionette, Alice, Crash Street Kids, Burn Late 58, hard rockin' tunes, fabulous. And then, of course, just love, 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 Roll Away the Stone. This is a wonderful album, a 12 out of 10, or I'd say 11 out of 10. Some bonus tracks, Where Do You All Come From? Rest in Peace, Foxy Foxy, non-LP single A-side. Do You Remember the Saturday Gigs? The Saturday Kids, and then Lounge Lizard, and then American Pie / The Golden Age of Rock and Roll. This live from Broadway. This is fabulous. All right. Number 2. This is a 12 out of 10, and in some cases, I want to flip this with number 1, but for right now, this is number 2. Talking about all the young dudes. This is a great album. Even though The Hoople is great start to finish, this is even more great, if that makes sense. Start with the cover song from, Sweet Jane. Someone help me out here. 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Sweet Jane, great cover song. Mama's Little Jewel, amazing. All the Young Dudes, the song Bowie wrote to not to jumpstart their career, but to help their career, because their career was but you've heard the story, right? Their career. Lou Reed, Sweet Jane, Lou Reed, the first song. Mama's Little Jewel, number 2. All the Young Dudes. There's a version Bowie does, right? But he wrote the song to help Mott The Hoople with their career because they were kind of floundering, and this jump started, or rather revitalized their career. Great song. The song Sucker is amazing. Jerkin' Crocus is fabulous. One of the Boys, my favorite song on here. Soft Ground is amazing. Ready for Love / Afterlights, 6 minutes and 47 seconds, of course, goes on to be the first part, Ready for Love, to be a Bad Company song. Sea Diver is such an emotive, powerful singer-songwriter type song, slow, Ian Hunter pen song, and foreshadowing his solo career in many ways. Got some bonus tracks which I won't read here, but and there's a live version of Sweet Jane. This is amazing. I'm not sure why this isn't a 2 CD set. I guess it would have come close to being one, but this is fabulous. Great album, start to finish. Got to get it if you don't have it. And so by process of elimination, All the Young Dudes, by the way, 1972. This is the follow-up, 1973. I would argue that I did a video a long, long time ago, or a series of my top 24 favorite album pairs of all time. And I didn't do a Mott The Hoople pair because they have a trilogy, and I think their best, well, one of the best trilogies of all the time in order is All the Young Dudes, Mott, my number one, and then The Hoople, 1974. So Mott is my favorite Mott The Hoople album. Again, 1973. So this is the penultimate album in their discography. And you get the wonderful All the Way from Memphis, Whiz Kid, Hymn for the Dudes, so great, Honolulu Boogie, Violence, Driving Sister is amazing. Everything here is amazing. Ballad of Mott The Hoople, I'm a Cadillac / El Camino Dolorosa is fabulous. And then the wonderful, just as fabulous, I Wish I Was Your Mother, great hit off the album. And then you have some bonus tracks, a non-LP side of Honolulu Boogie called Rose, then a demo version of Honolulu Boogie, and then Nightmare, a demo is great, and then a live song version of Driving Sister, which is fabulous. Great glam album, 4-piece here. What a great album. So, folks, there you have it. This is my ranking of the family tree, again, of Mott The Hoople, Mott, and British Lions. May I recommend the box set, Mott The Hoople, Mental Train, The Island Years, 1969 to 1971. And it contains the debut, Mad Shadows, their second album. Disc 3 is Wildlife, their third. Brain Capers, and then there's what's called the Ballads of Mott The Hoople, so greatest hits, and then a live disc 6. There's a lot of previous unreleased material here, including most, if not all, the tracks from the very critically acclaimed, hailed, although the production is not perfect, the Live at Fairfield Hall, Croydon, 1970, but it's divided up on one or more discs. So again, this is worth having. Please post in the comments your thoughts of my ranking, agree, disagree, that kind of thing. Thank you so much for watching. Again, one of my favorite bands of all time. Take care now. Bye-bye.